There we go.
You there?
Yep.
Awesome, sweet. Hey, thank you for chatting with me today. I'm really excited to dive into Messy Bun Diaries with you and to see what it's about from your perspective. I understand it from my point of view and from Jacqueline's point of view. I just had the Avenue chat with her earlier. Also had a previous one that has not went out because the audio got messed up and all of the junk or whatever. But hey, listen, I'm glad to speak to you about what the Messy Bun Diary is. So, how did that come about? Because I know part two is about to be dropped, right?
Yes. Okay. So this time a year ago, I got to write kind of my story with a bunch of girls from the UK. Like I flew to London. We had a massive party. It was so freeing. And I knew
Okay, good. Well, then you're gonna have to retire for real.
been through a bunch of stuff.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, well, Kim, thank you so much. I won't keep you anymore.
So it just kind of happened.
Okay, thanks. Hold on.
Hey, Kaylee, where's your microphone located on your phone?
Bottom.
Okay, is there a way? Is it covered up at all?
Yeah, like it's sitting on my desk.
Okay, uh, is there any way we can do something different?
Let me see. Let me see what I can rig up here. Is it echoing?
No, it's just it cuts in and out. It doesn't catch all of your audio, and that's just so very disservicing to you.
Okay. How is that better with me holding it?
It is. I was just trying to get you to not have to hold it,
That's
but
okay. I'm fine.
okay, cool. All right, continue.
So I got a bunch of emails from different girls with all kinds of stories. I mean, they went from one end of the spectrum to another. And the first one went so well, and I was like, there's more. Like, we have to keep doing this. There's a younger generation that is going through even more than we did because of social media. And I feel like it is so important for them to learn from all of the things that we went through and maybe didn't know how to cope with, didn't know how to help ourselves or who to reach out to. And that was the main point, was just I want to help, especially the teen girls, realize that there's so much more that their life is going to bring. Like whatever you're going through, it can be changed. Your circumstances do not define you. There are all kinds of things I want girls to know.
Right, for sure. Yeah. So you said the UK, right?
Yep.
So from the UK, was the Messy Bun Diaries? So would you say the Messy Bun Diaries was was born in the UK, or did that happen later on?
So the book that I wrote in was not the Messy Bun Diaries. It's a book called When She Rises. It's from a business and lifestyle coach over from the UK that I was friends with.
Okay.
So it birthed through her vision into something totally different. That make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So how did the Messy Bun Diaries come out of that? I literally want to hear the whole entire story. Like if you could fit it, just give it like could you give it in bullet points? Like because I'm really intrigued why it was entitled the Messy Bun Diaries. I mean, I think I get it, but I don't want it to be told from my perspective. One, because I'm not a woman.
Okay.
Two, because I'm not you, and it's not my thing.
So you want to know more about why it's called the Messy Bun Diaries?
I want to know about why it was called the Messy Bun Diaries, how that connected with other people in the world, other women in the world, how you got to be on the bestsellers list off the Messy Bun Diaries. I mean, I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay. So I have 4 children. My whole entire life is messy. That's been the name of my blog, my private group on Facebook for quite a while now. My hair typically doesn't look clean. Like I washed it just for this and fixed it. It's normally in a knot on top of my head.
Oh.
Super dirty. So it started there. And then there are so many messy parts of life that we as women hide. Our mistakes, our past, our troubles, our traumas.
Right.
It's all messy.
For
and
sure.
we hide it so much because of embarrassment or fear of what other people are going to think. And so my group on Facebook was really just a safe place for women to come together to talk about their struggles, to get help, to reach out to other people. And it just kept growing. And I knew that I needed to reach people in a different way. And so when I started looking for people for the first book, it went from all over the place. Like, we have a business coach in there. We have a mom of a heart transplant survivor. We have a therapist, a super doctor psychologist who's just the most bomb-ass lady I've ever met in my whole life. And they all just had a calling to share a little bit about what they went through with other people in a super awesome, out there forever kind of way. A book isn't something that's going to go away. It's just going to keep on and on. And we knew that would have the most impact on the most people, was putting all of those stories together, because like I said, they're so different. I can't even dive into what some of them are about, because some of them are so traumatizing almost. Like, I can't tell you how many times I cried having to like read these stories as they were coming in, for submissions and editing and the finished product. It's so heartbreaking at first to listen to what so many people have been through, because it's stuff that you see on TV and you're like, that doesn't happen in real life, or that doesn't happen to anyone I know. That, and I'm like, wow, I know all of these people who should not be kind, for one. We should all be cynical, awful people for what we've been through, and we're not. And I think that that's powerful. I think that watching women go from struggling and insecure and through bad situations and then becoming some kind of light for other women is so empowering. And I think that is probably my favorite part of the Messy Bun Diaries, is getting like the messages later from like moms with depressed teenagers who have been, having bad thoughts, and they're like, my daughter read your chapter, my daughter read your blog, and you saved my kid's life. Like, that's all it's about. And one is good enough, but thousands, millions would be better if every girl knew that if they weren't sitting in a room alone or surrounded by other teens who don't really know what's going on or know life, they can read this and know, wait, this girl went through it. She wrote about it. She wrote about how I can fix it and not repeat the mistakes. I'm going to take her advice. I'm going to learn it, and I'm going to change my life.
Yeah. You're like spot on with that. And I agree with the same thing. It's like, you can touch one, great. But if you have the ability or the opportunity to reach more than one, why not? So yeah, I hear you with that. I really do. Now, that doesn't mean that if you're only able to touch one that you can visibly be aware of, then you have failed in life. Because here's the crazy part about that is, just by a person putting their energy in the air for a positive, conscious, progressive, influential thing where they are kind and they are good and they are serving to others, you only see one person does not mean that only that one person sees you.
That's true. Yes, you will get 1,000 people viewing you before you get 1,000 people liking you. Like,
For sure.
over and over again. They will watch you. They will see you succeeding. They will copy you, and that's what I want. Like, go try to be the good versions of me. Like, don't go with my bad habits, but take the good things that I'm telling you and go apply it to your own life to make a positive change, because we all need one, even in some slight way.
By the way, I like the camera view of you holding your phone, because when you move, there's like this, it's like a YouTuber going, I don't know, it was like a crazy personal, tangible, we can reach out and feel the fact that the story that you're telling is something you're really sincere about. So that's really awesome. So I don't know if you remember, I'm going to tell you the story of how I'm attached to your journey. Do you remember that?
I do, and I was wondering if you were going to talk. I was wondering if you remembered or if you were going to ask, but
I,
yes, I do
I,
remember.
yeah, and crazy because I think we've had like mutual relationships with people that knew you and people that knew me, kind of similar. Because I think, did you go to White Oak?
Yep.
You went to White Oak, and I went to Pine Tree, and so I think we just had similar people or friends in common, right? But then one of my really close friends, who name shall not be mentioned just because I don't really feel like that's necessary, we went to your house, and I believe you were married at that point in time, but you were having like a New Year's Eve party or July 4th party,
It was New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve party. And we went to your house, and I remember just being in this environment of people that just did not know what to do with life. Like, I was going to school for substance abuse counseling and had my intern or my practicum in Winsboro. And I was kind of on the track of knowing what the heck I was going to do with my life, but not really sure. And you were just, you had kids and you had just like were in a house and you were married. That's like all you knew. You were like, okay, I'll just get a job and I'll just figure some stuff out. And then to go from you being at that place, and I believe that was like at least 6 or 7 years ago,
Yep.
right? To go from that place to know you now, and to know and identify what you were doing.
Don't make me cry.
Come on. It's humbling. It's great. Like, I know, like I saw like a year ago when you did the very first Messy Bun Diaries, and I was still even like on the other side of social media going, like it was incredible, right? Um, but to know how far you've come in life is really awesome, and to know the people that you were touching, and intentionally women, is a really incredible thing. Not to say that men aren't important either, but you and your journey is attached to uplifting women, and so I applaud you for intentionally doing that purposely, through your testimony and being transparent through that, and providing an outlet of camaraderie or relation with that. So yeah.
Well, thank you. You just made my whole week. I wasn't going to cry, but I did. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, from the person that I was then to even a year ago to now, it's like, it's so crazy. Like, it makes
Mm.
me so mad anytime I see anyone
Right?
post on social media about people can't change. And I'm like, man, yes, they can. They just gotta want to. Like, you can do anything and you can change over and over and over and get better and better. You just gotta make a decision to do it.
Right? For sure. Yeah. Mm. So the change is really weird to me. I don't know. That word just kind of hit a nerve in a place to where I don't understand that word. It's just a really weird word for me. Like, and I think for me, it's a word that is not even in my vocabulary personally and professionally, because the words that I use in my, no, hold on, listen, check it out, right?
Okay.
But I purposely, intentionally don't use particular words, right? And so I'm gonna dive into just a tad bit of that, because this is not my Avenue chat, this is my Avenue chat with you, right?
Okay.
But diving into just a little bit of that, I've realized, like, when you said that, I've realized that I have like this adverse opinion of that word, and that I choose to use the word progressive or continuous, or just things that are a little bit different.
See, change and
Not
growth are my two big ones.
and I feel that. I understand it. I think I just choose to use the word progressive
Yeah.
or something other than change. Not like I have a really, it's not like I think negatively over the word change. I think it's just a little bit weird for me. I love the word progressive, and I love the word like continuous and just things like that. But I'll give you an example on another space of words I don't use, right?
Okay.
I don't use the word happy. Like, the word happy does something really weird to my soul. Like I had like this really weird spiritual disconnect with the word happy. Because the word happy for I know you're just like, oh
No,
man,
yeah.
where is it
Happy,
going?
joyful, at peace.
Oh, there you go. So check it out, right? I use every single one of those words except for happy because happy for me is the embodiment of someone waiting for someone or something to make them happy or something to allow them to be happy.
Nope, nope. Happy is a state of mind when
Mm,
you know that you are on a good path, when you
okay.
can look at yourself and be like, I'm so happy with me. Like
Right.
I am a happy person, like almost all the time. I mean, I have like other sides of me, but like happy is my main one. Like I'm happy about life. I am happy about
Cool.
everything pretty much. Ah, man,
Right.
get some happy in
Now,
you.
no, it's like I love the word joy and joyful, but to
Yes,
me, those words are similar. I feel a similar way that you feel about happy to the word joy or joyous,
yes,
right? So it's a similar thing. It's the same thing, but for me, it's just kind of like because it's happy, right? So then it's like something happened to you. So that's just the way that I connect it, and it's
yeah,
also the way that I tell other people to consider connecting it. I don't force anybody to connect it, but I definitely give the synopsis of consider this. If it works for you, cool. If it doesn't work for you, and you decide to tell me to go on with my crazy tale or whatever, I'm not going to be offended. It's like
yeah.
even in this conversation, it's like your opinion on it is different. I
Yeah, oh
applaud
yeah,
your
we
opinion.
all have different opinions on
Yeah,
everything, and
right,
that's what makes life so awesome.
right, right. So, we just make it work and rock out. It's the people that they feel like they have to force opinions on other people and they have to allow them to think the same that allow for the barriers to happen, right?
Yes.
I'm not about none of that. I don't care about none of that. That's crazy. It's a waste of time. I don't consider that. That's ridiculous to me. Now, going back to your messy bun that is not on your head.
No. What you want to do
What
about it?
what is next?
Um, I'm working on. So we're finishing up book 2. I've
Mm-hmm.
already started taking some applications for book 3.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know what's next. Like a Netflix series would be super cool.
Oh,
I did a podcast with Kelly Raspberry from the Kid Craddock Morning Show, so
okay.
I'm hoping she's just gonna fall in love with me and be like, join us.
Right.
I
Right.
don't know what's next. I keep praying and telling God to keep leading me where I'm going, and
Mm-hmm.
so far He's just like, let's go this way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. How about I threw this at Jacqueline. What about a Messy Bun Diaries 2.5 COVID edition?
I've thought about so many subtitle editions, like quarantine edition, like with a bunch of homeschool moms that are
That's
not
exactly
homeschool
what I
moms.
said. It's like, the homeschool thing was a barrier, right? The
Yes,
mental
man.
health aspect of COVID was a barrier, right?
So we
Like
went from my husband and me both working all day, the kids going to school, to neither one of us working, home with 4 kids, teaching a kindergartner how to read. And when you
mhm.
don't have patience, that is a hard task.
Or
Trying to
you
help
have
us.
to or you have to learn that new math thing that
Had
people
to
be
do that
doing.
too with my 4th grader.
Bless your
Looked at
soul.
my 7th grader's schoolwork and realized he was smarter than I was, and I was no use to him. And it was rough. I remodeled my house. I painted my bedroom.
Mm.
Redid the bathroom. It was a long couple months.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. So a lot of options then, a lot of stuff just trying to figure out what's next. That's awesome that there's a lot of options to
Yes, I have
exploring
so
with that.
many ideas.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. How about a Messy Bun Diaries multiracial edition? And I could write some stuff in
Down for that. Down
there.
for that.
Okay. Okay. We'll talk about that later. That's
We
something you're
will.
really down for sure.
I'm down
Yeah.
for everything. And it started with helping women just because that's what I know. Like I know women are going through things.
Mm.
And I want to say that I know guys are going through stuff too, but they are the total opposite of women. Women will open up and tell you their struggles. They will tell you the stuff that they did, the stuff that happened to them. Men aren't like that for the most part. They are prideful, and if bad things happened in their life or they made bad decisions, they don't want the world to see that. They are so prideful most of the time. And
Ah.
and I would love for more guys to open up about the situations that they've been in, especially fathers, like the good ones for, most part. But just I know that guys have struggles. They're just more reserved with them. Whew, there's a fly in here.
Yeah. I, I'm like that, but if given the right platform for the right purpose, I'm an open book. I don't care. So yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about it for
I
sure.
did, yeah.
Talk about it. Yeah. So tell me about, because with Messy Bun Diaries 1, how many people were in Messy Bun Diaries 1 to Messy Bun Diaries 2? How did that transition come into place?
So there's 13 girls in both 1 and 2. 13 is my number. It's 3 is really my number, but I didn't just want 3 girls in there. But my oldest son was born on the 13th, Friday the 13th. And it's a good number. That's what I'm just gonna stick with that. And it
Okay.
does for a good book size. Like 13 girls
Yeah.
is good.
Right. Right. Okay. So are they all, what's the criteria? Are they all in Texas? Are they all in East Texas? Are they all over the United States? Are they some of them outside of the country?
They're all in the United States. Book 1, all of the girls were from the East Texas area except one. She was from Kansas. Book 2, I want to say most people are from East Texas also. A girl from Kansas. And I'm not sure where one of them lives right now. She's moved several times, so I'm not sure of her current location. But so right now it's just been a bunch of girls from East Texas, which I love. I love that they're so close to home. Like we can go have brunch. We can just, I like that. So I plan to reach further than that, and I would love to go globally with it. So just whatever way it goes.
Right. Heck yeah. I like that. Okay. So for all of your people in Messy Bun Diaries 2, are they people or any of them people that you asked to be part of the book, or did they all just submit?
They all submitted. I had people that I hoped would submit, and several
Right.
of them did, but I didn't want to reach out to anyone. I didn't want to put any kind of pressure on anyone
Right.
to want to do this or put any kind of anxiety, or I wanted everything to be their decision in their court to share. I didn't want anyone to feel obligated because I asked, which
Hmm.
I feel some people would have. So I left
Right.
it all in their court.
Okay. I think that's awesome. I like that because from a business standpoint, that turns into a really messy thing, right? Messy one. But it turns into a really messy thing whenever, people find out, oh, she asked you, and so
Yes.
I'm glad you avoided that. That was good.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, so, okay. So Vegas, what is Vegas going to be about?
All right. So for book 1, I'm going to have to move to charge my phone. For book 1, we did a big, extravagant book launch party. Like, that's me up there in the big fancy dress.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. The night was great. We had dinner. I did a speech. All the girls dressed up. It was so fun. But I didn't get to enjoy it. I was so busy making sure that everybody else was happy and taken care of and everything was getting done that I didn't get to enjoy the night the way that we wanted it to. So I decided this time, instead of a big fancy party, that I wanted to do a trip. So I got it with the girls and I was like, hey, here's some options. Where do we want to go? And they were like, let's go to Vegas. Let's go to Vegas. 15
Right.
of us, a couple of husbands to bodyguard, and we're going to take on Vegas and see how messy we can get there. Like in a good way, like a good messy
Yeah.
way, not a
No,
bad
for
one.
sure.
Like,
For sure. Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's what's up. What are you hoping to gain besides promoting your book? What are you hoping to gain from Vegas? Is there anything you have in mind? Or are you just kind of
not
enjoying the
really.
moment thing? Just kind of,
Enjoying the
this
moment.
is, yeah, like this is the time of transition. It's like, okay, I just need to breathe for a minute. Let me enjoy these people. My people are all here with me.
Yep.
Let's take this time and
So,
identify this place we're at.
and that, and I mean, I'm going to get us shirts made. I've got a photographer coming along with us to take some pictures of us. My goal is for people to like stop us and be like, hey, why are y'all all wearing the same shirts? And
Mm,
we can pull out our purses and be like, you want to buy a book? Here,
come on,
let me tell you
come
about it.
on, come
So
on.
what crazy things happen in Vegas. So you never know.
Yeah. You have are you gonna have when you pull out your book and tell people about it, you should have a camera person or someone on social media. Got you. Got you. You know the game. You know the game. You know what it is.
Yeah, I need to order like 5 or 6 extra battery packs to keep my phone charged.
Yep. Yep. You're gonna have to. So Messy Bun Diaries to Messy Bun Diaries 2. Is that a continuation of your story from one book to the other?
Nope,
How did those stories line up?
they don't.
They
They
don't.
are 13 independent women who most of
No, no,
them
no,
don't
no,
even
no,
know.
no, no, no. But just your story, because you wrote in both, right?
I did not. My
You
story's
did
not
not.
in those books. My story is in the book that I did from the UK. I
Oh,
didn't
that's
want it to be about
insane.
me. I told my story. I got it out there. I write a book forward explaining like who I am and what the book's about, but this isn't about me. It's
Okay.
about these women and their stories. Mine's got told. I'm good, and I just want to give as many people as I can the opportunity to do the same thing that I did.
Oh, that's so cool. Wow. Okay.
So I imagine one day I'll probably write a whole book with a whole bunch of fun stuff in there, but
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just getting started, and so there's no use in writing one now. I'm going to have way more stuff to add to it later.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And then that could be that would make for an awesome story.
Probably so.
Right? For sure. Yeah.
Definitely a honest and entertaining one for sure.
Yeah. 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 So that first night that we met, do you remember anything particular about that night? Is anything stand out to you?
Gosh. I So it was me and one of my good friends, Melissa,
Okay.
a girl that was homeless at the time who had moved in with me, and my
Okay.
husband.
Okay.
At the time, I want to say we just had 2 kids, but we may have had 3 at that point.
Mm.
And I was probably drunk most of the night. So
Yes, yes, you were.
I don't
But
probably remember many things.
yeah, yeah. But I think the majority of us probably were too.
It was New Year's though, so it was fine. It's a holiday, it
Yeah.
didn't count. So and since then I've quit drinking 100%. So life's
Nice,
better.
nice. That's awesome. Okay. So don't remember too much.
Nope. Do you?
No,
Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay,
No,
good.
I don't remember. It was too long ago.
It was. I
It
know.
was
I
way
know.
too
I've got
long
some
ago.
pictures somewhere that I'm gonna go find now.
Oh my gosh.
I'll just private message them to you.
Do that.
Yeah.
Do that. I would like to see those. Yeah. By the way, the mutual guy that came with me, he's now been released.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yep. I'm
Yeah.
hoping that hoping he stays that way this time.
Me too. Me too. Yeah. It's got some things to deal with, but
Yep.
hope
We all do. We got to
mhm.
face them in a positive way and
Yep.
not other ways.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, man. It's definitely we got to find positive ways to cope with things and the negative dealings in life just get us really negative consequences that last a very long time.
It is, and it's so funny from looking back 15 years to being a 16-year-old girl who was literally sitting on her bedroom floor praying to God to just let her die. Like she was too afraid to do it herself, but just let her get hit by a car, let her in a car wreck. Like I didn't care. I just didn't want to be here. And now, like to just praying, like God use me, like
Mhm.
whatever you want me to say, do, be, like I'm ready to do that now. And to
Mhm.
know that I've come so far in that is just, I mean, it's insane. It's so crazy.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it is. It's incredible. Yeah. I'm curious because my experience growing up in Pine Tree was, I mean, it wasn't terrible, but I don't know what it was like growing up in White Oak.
So I moved. So Pine Tree wasn't super great for me either. I moved from Pine Tree hoping to escape a bad situation. And looking back now, going from Pine Tree, which is a very big school where, gossip travels, but not as fast and in a bigger way. And so when I moved to White Oak, I was in a class of 100 people or less.
Yeah. Well, because before Pine Tree, I went to school at Liberty City in Sabine.
Okay, yep. And so just the gossip and the rumors, and I'm a still to this day I'm a very emotional person, but I had a hard home life in a way, and things were difficult. And so when people were rude or made up lies about me or stories, it hurt me. And as kids, if you are unhappy in your own life, it brings you a sense of, I don't know, because I wasn't like that, but I guess a sense of a momentarily high or a feel good because you were able to make someone else feel bad. And so me being an emotional person and handling some of the things that I did, I would just cry. I won't even lie. I just cried in front of people and so bad. And that's the worst thing you can do, is to let people know that they're getting to you. And I didn't know that. And when people realize that they can get to you, they do it
Mhm.
over and over and more and more. And when they realize that you're not going to do anything and that no one's going to stop them, it gets worse and worse. And then one day you just wake up and you realize you're living this horrible life that you just can't seem to escape. And it's hard. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for sure.
like, people, like, I laugh when anybody says, like, high school was the best time of my life. Like, it's never going to get better. Like I actually laugh out loud and I'm like, you're crazy. Like, trust me, like,
Yeah.
life is going to get so much better after high school.
No, I was definitely one of those people that, there are those people, right? There are people that say high school life doesn't get any better after high school, but then there are also those people that can't wait to graduate high school. And I was always one of those people that high school was cool, um, but then my senior year, people were like, "Oh, I can't wait to get out of high school," and I'm like, "For what? We ain't got to do nothing now. We are taking care. I mean, we might have some like phone bill, maybe car insurance, something like that or whatever. But for the most part, most of us don't have to worry about food, don't have to worry about a place to live. I mean, what do we want to get out of high school? I'm just saying.
Well, I can't answer that because I got pregnant my senior year and
Mm.
moved out and became a mom right after I graduated. So
See,
that
that's
was
what I'm
my
talking
life.
about. See, that's what I'm talking about. Dynamics are different. That
Yep.
that wasn't your reality.
Yep.
Yeah, that was not even your reality. But the fact that you stand here today and you say the adverse or the opposite of the mindset of nothing can get better than high school, and you're painting that picture of the accurate definition of that in giving back and being influential and being creative and creating and giving those avenues that allow the opportunity to see life in that is an amazing thing. So, man, that's incredible. So yeah, and what's so crazy is like people sometimes ask me if you could go back to an age, what age would you go back to? And I would often say the day that I turned the age that I am now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't want to go back.
You know, I won't do that.
I don't want to do nothing again. And I wouldn't want to anyway. Like, even if I could go back, people are like, if you could go back and change one thing, I wouldn't change nothing. Like, if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be able to have the influence that I do today. People would just be like, what does she know? Like, I don't, I know what I know because I lived through it.
Right. And I guess in some mythical world where, like those Facebook posts where it's like, oh, if you could go back to this age and know what you know what you've known today, and then I'm like, but those aren't, that's not possible.
Nope.
It's
And
so,
there's no sense in even thinking about that because you're wasting energy, you're wasting time, you're wasting thoughts that you could be put into something way better. Like, what am I going to do next week? If I could change something about my life a year from now, what do I want it to look like? Don't worry about that. It's done. You can't change it. But you can
yeah.
change next week, next year, 10 years from now.
Right, right. But then, it's gotta that following that has gotta be the thought of, okay, what can I do tomorrow to get what I want 10 years from now
Yep.
today? And you just have to keep along that journey or that avenue of trying to chase after that. This is another word that I don't use typically is dreams. Now I understand that dreams are a thing
I don't
and
like
they
that one
exist and
either.
like that's weird to
No,
me,
I chase
but
after goals,
come on,
passions,
right.
inspirations.
Like yeah, like I did an event in a coffee shop in Livingston, Texas, right? And someone looked at me and said, "Oh, but this is your dream." I'm like, "No, this was a goal. Like this is what I painted a picture for a year ago, and what I'm painting a picture for today is going to be what I'm going to do X amount of years from then because
Yes.
and dreams are cool if you are
When
16
you're
and below.
asleep, when you're sleeping and you're dreaming
Well,
about stuff, that's cool.
well, like if you're 16 or below too, right? Like
Yeah,
in the idea of identifying age of when it's appropriate to possibly dream. I just think it's cool to dream when you're really young.
definitely. Like, my
But
13-year-old wants to be an NFL player. He's
come on,
96 pounds. He's in the 8th grade.
right,
He's half a foot shorter than everybody else. Like, I'm a boy.
right,
You ain't go play soccer.
yeah. But like when you turn a certain age, it's like, all right, well, come on, dreaming is a waste of time.
Yep. Set yourself some life goals and expectations, and then go get them.
Write it down, map it out, problem
Yes.
solve, wake up, objectives, get it done.
Yes. Get you a vision board. Start marking it off.
Mm,
Speak your words. Think your
mm,
thoughts. Like, do it all.
yeah. Doesn't mean that I mean, we're saying these things and it comes with barriers and it's hard sometimes. It gets difficult. You're gonna reach some things that are mentally draining and spiritually draining and cause you some just, I mean, life's gonna kick you down sometimes, right? That's cool. Understand that happens, but do not let that stop you. I mean, you can go through seasons where you're dormant for a while and you don't want to get up and do anything. Great. But when it's done, it's time to get up.
Yep. Get back up, get going again, start over. And start over as many times as you need to until you get to where you want to be. But
Yeah.
just don't stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't give up on that. Yeah.
Definitely.
And understand that people are not gonna understand.
No, people, they won't see your vision. They won't understand what you're chasing. They will tell you that you're crazy and you've lost your mind and that you're going to fly to the United Kingdom and get kidnapped or sold into sex trafficking. And you got to be like, you know what, y'all are crazy. I'm going to do it anyway.
Yep. Sure. Yeah, I had cause so in 2016 I started a nonprofit, right, in Nacogdoches, Texas, and now my nonprofit services, we do Livingston, Texas, Lufkin, Texas, Nacogdoches, Texas. We do Longview. We do a few things in Tyler. We do some things, or we have done a few things in Tyler. We do Gladewater. We do Center. We do Shreveport, Louisiana, and we've done a mission trip in Haiti. And we would be doing another one, but you know this thing called COVID. Um, yeah. But
Yeah, that's
I've also
awesome.
I've also started like this is part of my public speaking business. So I have a nonprofit and I have a for-profit of a public speaking business, and I had like 4 gigs booked pre-COVID, but then COVID. Um, but yeah, when I started doing drum circles in the streets for my nonprofit, people told me I was absolutely out of my mind, that I could not bring unity, or that I could not be an example of what camaraderie looked like in Nacogdoches, because it's so very old school ingrained in it. And I'm just like, I don't care what you talk about.
Yes,
To do
people
this
are more
anyway.
open-minded than people want to give other people credit for. Now, sure, there are some who aren't, but there are so many more
People,
people out there who are willing to listen and
uh-huh,
learn and
uh-huh,
change their behavior in a
uh-huh.
positive way.
They just have to be given the opportunity.
Yes.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, so, you know, just people that go on a journey of being strong enough to do what they want to do because they know that they have that goal. I love that. So, I mean, I think it's amazing that you're doing what you're doing. So, yeah, for sure.
Thanks.
Yeah. And to know that that one little girl at that one party that I went to X amount of years ago is not that little girl anymore, and to know that I'm not that same guy anymore, that's incredible too.
Yes, because people grow and they change.
They do. People change. Believe it or not, people change.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Kaylee, thank you for joining me in Avenue Chat today. Uh,
Oh,
this will
thank you for
this
having me.
this will be produced and put out, so I'll give it to you when it's done, so you can use, you can cut edits, do whatever you want to do with it, use it for
Okay.
your own promo. Um, those of you that are watching on the other end of the screen, be sure to follow me on AvenueSpeak. If you want to participate in an Avenue Chat, DM me. If you, yeah, actually that's it. Follow my public speaking journey. You guys have a good
Yes.
day. Be blessed.
Bye.